Hey there, it's Boots Owen here. This is James. James has undoubtedly led a hard life. I'm going to see if he works. Let's plug him in, see what happens. He's live. He's got a switch over here. Oh, nothing. Kind of expecting that. Let's have a look inside. I think there's no filter. Relatively clean, but all the trappings of plaster dust. So, what do we do then? What do we do with James if he's live? How can I get in there? I've not seen this type of connection here before. I know that there's 7 screws holding this on, so let's go for it. Ooh, Torx heads. I don't think I've seen that before. Stiff old Torx heads as well. Come back when it's all done. They do. They have T20 Torx heads on them. I've got 2 more to go. In the past, all of the pneumatic James and Henrys that I've dealt with, I think have had a posi type, posi number 2 screw. So I don't know if that means that this James is newer or not. Let's have a look at the data plate on the top again. Oh, data plate, there it is. JVP180-11 180-11 new bridge made, or pneumatic made in Chard. 620 watts. So let's see what happens if I can. Oh yes, you got the handles off as well. Presumably, yeah, there. I've done one of these before. I can't remember which one it was, and it had been full of water swimming somewhere, I think. And when I got it, the motor sounded really rough, and I thought I can't sell that. I can't really give it away. And if I recall, actually the screw here, now that I'm doing it, one of the screws in the handle was stuck, so I had to get that off. This one's stuck in there. What was I going to tell you? I found this in the trash somewhere. Can't remember where. I've had it for a while now. Should I take these off as well? I guess I've got to do everything. They're crossheads. I love it when they mix up their fasteners. The crossheads on this cable clamp. Found it in the trash. Don't know anything about it, but presume now it was thrown away because it's damaged. It doesn't have a high-low. Oh, okay, so that's a kind of a plug thing there. Well then, what I can do with that is put a multimeter on it. Should be kicking out 230 volts AC. If not, could be a fuse issue. No, you're getting 238 volts there. So that cable is fine. Well, that's pretty cool though, that plug thing. Haven't seen that before. Right, James, take your head off. No, what's holding you together, eh? I've done all your screws. Snap, snap. No. Get a screwdriver in there. There we go. It's starting to move. Could be anything in here. There's normally a right way and a wrong way to do this, and there we go, that's the right way. Pretty simple. It's just a hook coming through there for the cable, I think, a cable tidy hook. Slide that out. I'll forget to put it in. I'm going to have to give all this a wash. So what I like about these is that they come apart into quite sensible pieces and you can wash them. Those, okay, so they're held on. Normally whenever I take these apart, these handles fall off, so that seems to be a different design as well. Switch it on. Start checking for continuity between these cables here, and so it's power's on. Set this to continuity. We're getting continuity, so let's put to one of the power cables to over here. Yeah, we're getting continuity there. So then from the other one to the other power cable, doesn't seem to be anything. Ah, okay, there's a good start. I could find the thing, but I couldn't see what was going on. That looks different to me. So this tab has broken off, and that, I presume, went in there like that, and if I was to hold that in, this would probably work. But it'll blow white dust everywhere. So Yeah, normally the fault you have is the fault you see. It's the end of the cable in here. You can see there, it just pushes in and stakes on. Like in theory, if I could get this crimp on in there somehow and crimp onto it, that would do it. I'm gonna squeeze this way. Where are we? I folded the crimps over, but I haven't locked down on it yet. The only crimper I have is this size. There's no way that's... Oh. You know what? It might if I take a bit of a chunk out of here. I'm going to run the structured motor out the door now, but... If it's going to break, if it's already broken... It's still loose on that. One of my favourite options for all manner of work around the farm. Yep, it seems okay. It's not, oh, it is a little bit loose. Okay, one last squeeze. Yep, it's not going to get much worse than that. Right, so it was the near one that was bad, so I'll chop that off and tidy it up. The shorter of the two cables. I wonder will this work? That's how it's supposed to work. Okay. I guess I'll put it all back together again. Right, this is the bit that always confuses me, because I never really know what I'm doing. Found this mystery piece of plastic here as well. It's stuck in the side, so I don't know where it goes. It sits there. This goes in here. Tucks in there. Guessing that slots down like that. That goes on there. This goes through something into the top. Where does it go? Like this. Screws. Handle goes on top. I think we might be getting there, you know. Oh, I do. This is a blanking plate in here, and that is in case you have a high-low switch. High-low computer board, circuit board goes there. I think I've got this out by a number of degrees, because I think that's the way it was before, but then when I'm putting this together, which way does this go? Lost that piece again. Exactly like that across the top, I think. Let's put that back on there. I think that cable came through here, did it? Ah, it doesn't make sense, so I won't do that. I think it looked like it had come over and under, but I don't know that that makes sense at all now. So, and then this one, I struggle to hold the connector underneath because it is all bent. Push this one on without breaking something. That's nasty. Well, I hope that's good enough. It might be, it might not. My suspicion is that I can't sell a machine like this anyway, so I'm just playing with it to see how I get it to go. I'm guessing because of the way that falls out, this should really be built up from the other end. But I don't know. Right, is that correct? No, because I haven't put this cover on. Back out again. Snap this cover on. There we go. Okay. Couple of screws on that handle. You still with me, or have you gone to sleep? And I thought the handle held everything together. I didn't need to take off that handle then by the looks of things. I think it was just snapped before. What I'll do is I'll put in 4 screws like that and then test it. Okay, so the screws are in. And that'll hold it together for the moment. Hook this cable in here. I don't know if it's on or off. We'll find out now, I guess, whenever this gets plugged in. So that red light is actually, it is working. It is working there. Huh, that's kind of neat. The red light does work. I'm gonna take it asunder again and just swap out the green switch and see if I was wrong altogether. I'll fast forward to that point. So I'm back in again. Let's snap this cover off. There we go. It's obviously not live because the thing is out. There we go. Switch up. What have I done with the other one? It's a bizarre kind of thing if this really is just down to one spade connector. You know, like one tiny piece of brass that size there, you know, so much smaller, gone. I've lost that on the floor somewhere. Something that small could, you know, wreck a machine. I think that white switch looked better than this switch. There you go. Snap it back together. I could test it as it is, and that would spare me the trouble of taking it apart again. No live wires everywhere. Let's hold that rubber. Found it. It's on the floor. Yeah, that a tiny piece of metal that small could scupper it. Okay, line that up again. I'll put it back together again. So the 7 screws are back in. It's turned off. Plug that in, hook that in there. Put this one back on as well. It is a mystery to me why they have decided to use Torx screws everywhere except here. And then they use posi head. That little thing is sharper than it looks. If you know about these things, let me know in the comments below how old this is. What did we learn? We learned that I don't know how to use a multimeter because when I checked that switch, I did it wrong. We learned that a tiny piece of metal like that can catch you out, and I don't think I would have been able to reverse, you know, to pull this out and stick another one in, because these little barbs on the sides, they pulled the plastic off the side of it whenever I was pulling it apart, so that wasn't gonna be repairable. I could have tried to hammer something in beside it, but again, it probably would have broke. The only thing that I might do is come back to it with some hot glue and stick that cable connector on, spade connector on with hot glue. The other thing that I would probably do instead of just going in with hot glue is, I think I've been told I can buy the motors for these for 10 or 12 quid. If that turns out to be true, I'll just go and buy one of the motors online. I'll just put a new motor in it and then sell it. I've looked for these motors before and I couldn't find them at that price. I don't like selling things like this. I'd rather give it away to somebody. Although I could give it away as it is and just tell them that it's got a problem and that if it breaks, just give it back to me. I might do that instead. So as it stands, I put a new spade connector there and I broke one. So 3 spade connectors, whatever that would cost. In a box of 1,000, probably pennies. James JVP180-11 620 watt. There he is. Maybe you've learned something, maybe you think I'm an idiot. Either way, leave a comment below and tell me how you might have tackled that spade connector issue. Yeah, cool. Thanks for watching. See you later.